What's going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having an awesome day whenever you watch this. In today's video, guys, we're going to be briefly talking about Kai Cenat and why the internet is clowning him or why they're making fun of him on the internet. Now, usually on my channel, I don't discuss like streamers or I don't discuss specific people, like specifically on them or focus on them ideally and like clown them or talk about them in any way, unless it's something that happens specifically, and it's something I'd like to give my opinion on. And this is one of those cases, where I'd like to talk about it because number one, I am genuinely curious about what's going on. And number two, I find this all intriguing, and people's opinions and everything like that. So I'd love to hear your opinion down in the comment section below. About why everybody's clowning Kai Cenat. Now, if you don't know what I'm referring to or who Kai Cenat is and everything, this is your first time hearing about him. Kai Cenat is a huge, or was a huge, or is a huge Twitch streamer. He's a big internet personality, influencer person, on the internet. He has a lot of followers and he has a lot of recognition, on platforms and in the social media space and amongst celebrities and everything like that. So he's like big news in terms of the internet world, If you're on the internet a lot, you might have come across a clip of his, or you might have seen his name somewhere, or you might have seen him in like a video with one of your favorite content creators or something, And recently, like he announced that he was quit streaming, briefly, permanently. I don't know the case anymore because apparently he's coming back to streaming. He said he's like fully motivated and he's focused now on streaming again. So if that is true, that's good to hear, I guess, for him, if he is in the right mind space now and he is streaming again. But I want to focus on the issue or the question that I have for everybody on why they're clowning him, specifically on reading, reading and something he's trying to do in the fashion space. Now, for a lot of people, reading, I guess, is like, not that it's not a big deal, but like some people might have reading as a hobby or they really enjoy reading or, they can like spell and they're very fluent in reading and something like that. So apparently, like the whole story that I'm gathering is like Kai Cenat, he is trying to expand his vocabulary. He's trying to be more articulate. He's trying to read more. He's trying to, better his speech and everything like that. And I'm all for it, I'm always glad to hear people that's found, some form of self-improvement, something that they don't like about themselves, but see something that's not that strong in themselves and they want to better themselves. So say, for example, your fitness isn't great and you want to become more fit. Now you start running maybe 3 times a week, or you start lifting, or you start training, and you better your health and you start shaping up your diet more, and things like that. So I was initially like glad to see that he's had this mind shift changed and he's, talking about it in like on his new YouTube channel, that he starts uploading videos and talk about his mind, like I think it's Kai's Mind is called, it's called, and he speaks about like certain things he's thinking about, and reading. But then I came across memes, not memes, but like troll posts basically on TikTok and stuff like that, where he's busy reading and he'll maybe flash the alarm that he's done reading and he continues to read. And also like the way he's reading in the clips is like either it's sped up or it's slowed down, or he says the people in the comment section reading says he's like reading a whole lot of nothing, or he's being performative. Now I also this is also a new concept that I started learning about, being performative, which is like they're saying like Kai Cenat's performative, where he's like he's not really reading to read and better himself. Like, isn't that like a personal journey, that you wouldn't share with the world? And yes, to a case, maybe some people are like that, but maybe he's trying to better himself and show his audience, that reading is good, to be more articulate, to be able to spell, to read fluently, things like that. But the way he's doing it, I guess people are just finding it funny, finding it maybe corny, or, and that's why they're hating on him. They're finding easy reasons to hate on him because, like, especially of the memes, like the alarm flash thing. When I came across it, I didn't want to laugh initially, but the way the video is structured, how it is on the internet, where they take funny audios and they speed up the audio and they slow down and stuff like that. So I kind of felt bad a little bit for laughing because I was like, this is someone that is really trying to improve himself, or even if he isn't really, this is someone that's really trying to show the other side, of maybe content creation, where he's trying to better himself, and even if he's trying to pick up a new hobby, like making clothes, in the fashion industry, if he's trying to maybe start somewhere and build brands and things like that, I mean, you could do that, But I think a lot of his audience and a lot of the images put himself that he's used to put himself out there has kind of been this jokey, trolly kind of guy, person that laughs maybe at other people, jokes around with other people, laughs at people on the internet. Maybe that type of persona is kind of clashing with his current avenue that is going down, in terms of wanting to be taken seriously. I mean, sorry, with reading or with clothing or whatever he's wanting to do. Because I think if you're like laughing at him because he's genuinely trying to read and trying to become better, then I don't know. I mean, I don't agree with that, And even with the fashion thing, if he's picked up this hobby that he's trying to all this passion, that he's trying to turn into a brand maybe, or trying to build something for himself, I think I'm all for it, But people are debating like online, is this real, they're clowning him, and I think it's because he's also such a big content creator. And like I said, his personality and his persona on the internet is very jokey. I mean, I've come across numerous clips on the internet about him, making fun of other people or joking around, with other influencers and stuff like that. So it is like a kind of a line that's being blurred, to where his audience is kind of like seeing this, and other people is also seeing this and saying, nah, this is corny, or nah, what's he trying to do, why is he trying to do all this, he should just stay in his lane, things like that. And I mean, I don't know what to say to that, like I said, the floor is open for anyone in the comment section, if you're watching this, to leave your comments below and let your thoughts be known, because I'm genuinely confused on why people are doing this. And like I said, when it comes to like reading and especially self-improvement, I'm all for it. I think also maybe it's because the way he's promoting it is kind of like, that's what people are saying, that it's in this performative way, that it's in this way almost of like just doing it for doing its sake. Is he really doing it? Is he really improving his reading, Because like, oh, he's just reading from a book and then the timer goes off. Or he's just reading, but he's not acknowledging what he's reading and he can't repeat, what he's saying. Or he's just like speeding through the book and trying to show, okay, I can say this many words in like a minute or whatever. And if he's really trying to like impress his audience or whatever, like I'm not one to talk about what anyone else is doing on the internet. They're free to do whatever they are, you're allowed to say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do. But as far as like the hate crowd, for me it was just so massive. Like I didn't expect people to be going after him for this kind of topic. You'd think that he said something crazy on the internet or whatever. But it seems to be in jest, I guess for the most part. But that's just the way the internet is, unfortunately, sometimes, with a lot of people that like tries to do not nice things, but like try to do better maybe, whatever. But sometimes it does depend on your community, You as a person, especially once you're as big as Kai Cenat with a lot of followers. I think he was the most subscribed or most followed person on Twitch or something like that. I don't know too much about him. But yeah, he has one of the biggest audiences, He has like subathons and massive like followings. So that audience might have come across this new Kai Cenat, And then people are asking, oh, why is he doing this all of a sudden? What happened to like reacting to memes and making jokes and being silly and being goofy, Because a lot of people will say that is the type of crowd he is associated with, and that's the type of crowd he draws, maybe like teens to kids to even young adults, or even people that find him entertaining just for entertaining sake, But yeah, it was a very curious case, and that's why I wanted to ask you guys like what you guys think or what's happening, because like I don't know what's going on, and I feel like it's an interesting topic to talk about, especially on the internet with influencers, that might try and change direction once building a massive audience. If you're known for a certain thing, now you're trying to do something else. It depends on like the audience, maybe it depends on how you are as a person as well, because someone might find it like out of character, or people might say, that you're not doing this is lame, blah 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 blah, internet stuff basically. But yeah, I just wanted to open the topic. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video and enjoyed this topic, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube, go follow the TikTok, like, share, comment, and all that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Have an awesome day, guys. I'll see you. Bye-bye.